Could that have gone any better? I mean, you win in spectacular fashion in Seattle, in close to your hometown. Is that how you envisioned everything going?
Well, I thought I was going to have to wrestle a little bit more for sure, but I kept telling myself, what's the best case scenario? And I was like, first round knockout in my home state. And, I couldn't have dreamt of a better moment, honestly. It was a dream come true.
We didn't get to see you at Media Day, but obviously we saw at the weigh-ins yesterday you got a really big pop, a really big ovation. How much was that on your mind going into the fight? We heard the crowd was really into it. How much did that feed into the fight, do you think?
I knew I was going to get, a loud pop for sure because, I came up in Washington as an amateur and a pro, and I always had a big crowd. People were always going crazy, and I had to tell myself not to let that energy get to me because I didn't want to, do anything. I'm a seasoned veteran at this point, so I didn't want to just, be overzealous or anything like that. So I wanted to go in there and follow the game plan.
In terms of, your performance and getting it done, did you see the odds going into the fight?
Someone told me I didn't see him. I don't really pay attention to that ever because the times that I was the biggest favorite I've lost, so
right,
I don't really pay attention to it. But I did have some buddies be like, "Oh, did you see this, that?" And they someone always tells me. So
okay, did that play into it?
Right? Just I was underdog.
Oh yeah, big underdog, I think.
Big underdog. Oh
yeah. Here, let me find the odds here for you right now. But it was. The reason I ask is because, I know for some fighters, it's kind of seen as a thing to maybe use as motivation. I'm looking at the odds here. You were about a plus 200, so about 2 to 1.
But who makes these? Who makes these odds? The media or what?
Okay, I'll tell you how it goes. So the odds makers make the odds. People bet on the odds, and then the odds go up and down. So they might have I think you were opened as an underdog, but come fight time, you're about plus 200. So
yeah, no, I understand why I was on a 3-fight skid, but I mean he hasn't won a fight in a little bit either. No contest and a loss, so we both had a little bit of pressure going into this one. But I mean, you go to the strength of schedule. I mean, look who I fought compared to a lot of these other bantamweights. So, like I said, I know where I belong.
He had a lot of hype going into this fight. I mentioned the odds. You're the first guy to finish him in the UFC. His last fight was a decision loss. Where does that put you? Does that put you kind of back where you were prior to the last couple fights, just because there was a lot of momentum with him?
I don't know. I think the bantamweight division is just so packed. It's just stacked right now. So I mean, there's tough dude after tough dude, and this isn't the first person I've handed their first loss like this. So, but I definitely think it's a strong way to bounce back, and I hope the UFC gives me another matchup soon, and I can. I think that's the number one thing is just stay consistent. Not have long layoffs.
Mm-hmm. And how cool is it? Austin Vanderford was on this card. There's a lot of familiar faces here. I know it would have been nice to have some more, Washington-based fighters, but it must have been cool to be, one of the guys on this card from the area.
Yeah, I kept requesting to be on this card as soon as I heard they were coming to Seattle. I kept bugging my manager, having him bug Sean, and it didn't look like I was going to be on the card. And coming off these losses, it didn't seem like I could really, push it. So, but I started getting ready early, just in case they were going to have it, because my wife kept telling me, she's like, they're going to put you on this card. There's no way they're coming over here and not putting you on. So my my diet and everything shaped up right after Christmas. I've been in camp.
Ricky.
Hey, what up, man?
What's up with the hair?
Yeah, I let my brother Tank decide what I was going to do with my hair. So he told me to go platinum, and he actually told me to buzz it too. And then he said I can keep some length at the end. So I let him pick up the hairstyle. I'm really close to my brother Tank, and so he didn't do me dirty though. I did not expect to like it at all, actually. And after they did it, and I was like, "Damn, this is a new look. I look like I'm in my 20s again."
Yeah, dude, it looks good. Are you going to keep it around?
It's hard to take myself serious, but now that I'm probably getting a bonus after this fight, I'm back to being a prize fighter. Maybe I will keep it.
Can you just talk about the mindset coming off 3 losses, and you're not used to losing and having these losing streaks. So what was the mindset? I guess after loss and coming into this fight.
Yeah, I kept saying maybe I'm just the CT's caught up with me and I'm just dumb because I'm still so confident. I'm losing, but I know I'm not a loser. I'm a winner, and I've been winning in this sport for over a decade. So I just knew I had to trust in myself. I have a full team around me that has so much belief in me, but there's nothing like self-belief. So, and I knew that's what it was going to take.
Are you getting ready for the incoming fans that shit on you, and now they're like, "Oh, Ricky's back. He's back as ever."
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing this for over a decade. I you know, I got some limelight when I was super young, and I saw the hot and cold with the fans. Luckily I got that early on, so I don't listen to any of that. You know what I'm saying?
And you're one of the only guys to have a win over Merab. So I guess just what are your thoughts as him as a champion and this run that he's on?
I think he's a great champion. That last fight was awesome. Like he definitely took over with the showmanship and his grit. You know, he has that X factor. So it's great to see him doing so good. And the night that we both fought, we both looked at each other, and I know we both like, oh, we might see each other again soon. You know what I'm saying? So no, yeah, I'm so happy for his success.
As someone who's fought him and beat him, how does like a Peter Yan or somebody beat Merab?
Yeah, I think you gotta that's the thing is he puts on all the wrestling attempts, you know, whether he's gonna get it or not. So you have to just be ready for that. You gotta have the cardio to be able to put up with those attempts, and then you have to have the ability to get up too. So, which I got.
And finally, for me, you usually have somebody on the tip of your mind that maybe you want to fight next. Do you have anybody in mind, or are you just kind of gonna see what happens?
No, honestly, I always try to have a name and be ready. But you know, I was just totally focused on getting this win, not trying to look past this badass fighter. So I know Javid was very, very good. So I just wanted to focus on him. I wasn't like, oh, what's next? What am I gonna do next? But you know, yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to stay ready. You know, I know my coaches won't like me saying this, but you know, if they wanted me to fight in Mexico City at the end of the month, I'd do that. But
Congrats, man.
Thank you.